Nation. Gabe.
Nick the wicket keeper.
It was funny. When we've been doing the remote video, sometimes I point the wrong way. I'm like,
I always do.
Like, come on.
And it takes me like an hour to figure. I mean, you just think the other way, moron.
But anyway, back in Studio A. And we are here today to celebrate a milestone for me. I want to say it's a personal milestone for me. And
the guy's a fan for like 8 days, and he's taking all the credit. I love it.
I love it. You know, on the flip side, you've been a fan of BT for 8 days.
Did you just use past tense? You were a fan?
I'm just saying. That's the question. Fans want to know, are you still a fan of the Tridents? Are you going to tough out this rough, 1-3, 1-4 season?
You know,
Ew.
There's only so many groups I can avoid in my life. I got to avoid the Barmy Army, right? I got to avoid now the CPAL fans because I was like Trinidad Barbados all the way. We're going to go for it. I can't catch a break. I mean, honestly, my Padres after like 60 years are finally playing somewhat decent. I don't got another 60 years left in me. I got to avoid everybody. I mean, if you see someone at the airport where you're at and they're like walking like this and they're like not making it in, you know, I'm going to run into walls and stuff, that's going to be your boy Nick right there. Man, what are you doing to me, Tridents? You don't know how to use Aquaman's weapon. But anyways, it's not about me. It's not even about this guy. It's about Dwayne Bravo. This guy... 500 wickets. We just got done talking about Jimmy Anderson and his 600 wickets. This guy got his 500 wickets. And since it's from your team, why don't you say a little thing about it?
All right. Well, first and foremost, congratulations, Knight Riders. Congratulations, Bravo. All right, Dwayne Bravo. I tell you what, I watched this wicket. It's cool because I watched the wrong one. When I went on the video, he took it. I was like, oh, wow, he bowled him out. That's awesome. But that was 501. The 500 was a catch, a line drive at somebody. He got 500 and 501 back to back. And I'm like, wow, that's so cool. And then I'm thinking to myself, what is harder, 500 in Test cricket or 500 in CPL? Let us know. We have different opinions, what we think is harder. Nick, I'll let you go first.
All right, so... I know you're excited, but we're talking about the difference of T20 and Test, right? 500 wickets. It's funny because as I'm thinking about this, because I thought the same question before you even brought it up in this video, before you brought it up as an idea. My first thought was, obviously Test, it's a longer situation. It's much longer to get there. You're out there in that hot sun, blah, blah, blah. That's way more difficult. And then I said, but wait, this is T20. You only have like a few hours. You only have like an hour and a half to bowl for those 20 overs. And you get 500. I think he's been playing for 14 years or something like that. I honestly, I don't know. I can make an argument for either or. But if I had to choose one, and I'm going to get killed for saying this, I think it's more difficult to get in T20. Because you may not, you only get 4 overs to bowl, right?
Right.
Only 4. And I got to make the most out of those 4 overs max. I might only get 2 or 3 if I'm a scrub early on in my career. And this guy's got 500? He hasn't been playing for 50 years. Right. He's got 500. Nothing to take away against Stuart Broad and Jimmy Anderson. You can look at, the list is only so big of who's gotten 500 in Test. But I just think like it's a shorter format. It hasn't been around that long for crying out loud either.
The one point that, because you stole my thunder, okay? But the one point I was going to say is, sometimes you don't even get through all your wickets. You run out of overs before you get through all your wickets. All right? That's just real. That ain't happening in Test, all right? You got to get them wickets, cousin.
You got more than enough time, brother.
You got more than enough time. So... I'm going to take the opposition, though. I'm going to say...
What else is new?
I'm going to say... Well, honestly, my opinion was initially yours, but for all the Test fans out there, I'm going to go ahead and make your argument for you and say, think about this. In Test, guys are being very defensive, right? You see a lot of dots because guys are just blocked. You got guys batting to the Sibley line. So they're going to be out there. They're not as willing to give up their wicket, so to speak. Where in T20, a lot of these guys, man, I'm raking. Okay, I'm worrying about making sure I'm putting up runs because every dot kills you. So if that run rate isn't high enough, I'm hurting my team in that sense. So I'm trying to put up as many runs as possible. So I think that guys in in tests protect their wickets much better than they do in T20. So that's the argument that could be made. Also, you figure you got guys that are a lot more skilled. They're not necessarily skilled as far as hitting the big sixer, but they're more skilled in defending those wickets. At least they should be. I'm not going to mention any names. Campbell, my God, just give your wicket away. Every video, just poking the bear, bro. You talking about you? I can't go to certain places, bro. I go to Campbell is where is he from Barbados or Trinidad? Well, I'm gonna go somewhere. Just like you got to run into the Brahmi Army, I'm gonna run into some Campbell family members and fans.
I think you have more places you can go to than I can go to.
They're gonna let me have it, bro. But I'm just saying, like, you know what? You're supposed to protect those wickets at all costs in tests, where a lot of times that's not gonna happen. Guys are almost freely swinging, so it's easier to get that wicket. It's just like in baseball. If you are on a two-strike, think about the baseball mentality. On a two-strike approach, most hitters, at least old school hitters, what do? They have a two-strike approach. They get defensive. They protect that strike zone. They cut down on their swing. Now, guys are still swinging. Aaron Judge today struck out, and it was driving me crazy because the Yankees are trailing, and it was in the ball in the dirt. He had predetermined, I'm swinging at this ball, I'm going to get my fastball. He's guessing. That's what these young guys do. No two-strike approach whatsoever. So it's the same thing. You know, in T20, these guys have to score. You got a limited amount of overs. Those overs are going to run out. Every single one counts. So they're swinging big. A dot is murder, and a singles almost is just as bad. You need those fours. You need those sixes. You need those big runs. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only argument that can be made. Let us know in the comment what you guys think, though. You guys have been watching way longer than we have. Do you think it's easier to get 500 in tests or 500 in T20?
Man, you made a really good argument. Now I'm like starting to question myself because you're right. You guys know I love the run rate, right? The run rate is way different in both of the... It's almost like test is a different sport than T20. Like, completely different sports because it's a different situation. You're right. These guys are raking. T20 is like Casey at the bat. Test is like Tony Gwynn or something like that. I mean, they're taking their time. They're taking those pitches. They're being defensive. They're looking for their alley. And if you're able to get that guy out in test, not to mention, you may have a guy going for a double century and then you finally get him out. It's like, oh, thank goodness. You know, in T20, a guy goes for a double century. That might be the entire 20 overs.
That's it.
I mean, you guys saved by the bell, so to speak. So I think it's tough. I do think, though, if there was to be an edge in test, you get more than just 4 overs. Right. You get more than just those 4. But in T20, the guys are opening up. They're loosening up. But as we saw in the power play, they're being more aggressive because there's less fielders out there in the outer ring. But for overs 6 through 15 or so, they're being somewhat defensive because they don't want to give away those wickets too quickly. So it's not like they're just free and easy. The last 5 wickets, last 5 overs, yes, definitely they're more free and easy. So it's not like they're free swinging every single time. An argument could be made, like he said, let us know what you guys think. Nothing to take away from Dwayne Bravo. This guy got 500. I wanted to look it up, but I forgot to. How many guys have done that in T20? I mean, what is the leaderboard for the most wickets in T20?
I'll tell you what, can't be too many guys up there because it was a huge deal, and I was following it online on Twitter when it happened, and they were like, wow, what a performance. Again, you know, you don't have the quality of bowler either in T20 that you have in test.
Specialists.
You know, you got, I would say, or I would venture to say, you know, your Stuart Broads and your Jimmy Andersons are like, I don't want no parts of that. You know what I'm saying? What are you talking about? I don't want no parts of that. You're more, you know, you're quote unquote upper echelon bowlers. So, I don't know. That's a really good question. We got to do the research on it.
Yeah.
But man, you know, let us know in the comments how many people have even done it. You know, obviously, you know, CPL and IPL have just recently been formed. Both leagues are less than 20 years old, right? I think IPL
was like 4 or 5 years, maybe.
Right.
2013, 2014.
Right. So, you know, it's
IPL is 2008, I think.
Yeah. So very, very, very recent. But again, you know what? These guys are athletes, and it's so much fun to watch. I will say, I haven't watched IPL, but watching CPL a couple of games so far. I gotta say I love Test, but I will put T20 above ODI. I don't know, just at least the one ODI match we watched with England versus Ireland. Even though Ireland came back and chased down that huge score,
it wasn't the
they
best
weren't supposed to.
Yeah.
It just wasn't my favorite. But you know what? It's still one of my favorite sports overall. Cricket, you know what I mean? Quickly climbing up the board. Like I said, to me, it's already surpassed the NBA because the NBA. I'm sorry, there's just not enough parity. You already know at the beginning of the season.
Because you're a Knicks fan. Are they still in the NBA?
Bro, the Knicks can't even tank right. Let me go off on my Knicks rant, okay, for a second.
I was going to say, Yankees, Knicks.
Let me go off on my Knicks rant, okay? So midway through the season, we decide, all right, we're not winning this year, so we're going to start tanking. So, okay, let's get the tank. The Knicks get the 8th pick. The 8th. God hates the Knicks. I'm sorry. He must. What? James Dolan, what did you do to God? He doesn't go to church. He doesn't pay his tithes. I don't know what James Dolan did, but he did something wrong because God hates the Knicks. You know who God loves? The Golden State Warriors. Because they're down one season, a shortened season, which may not even be continued to be played. One season, and next season, guess what? They got Steph Curry, Klay Thompson back. Oh, and the number 2 pick. The number 2 pick. How does that happen? How does that happen? Did you know Steph Curry went 1 pick?
Awesome.
Steph Curry went 1 pick ahead of the Knicks. Golden State did it to us again. Oh my God. I don't understand, bro. You can't make it up. You cannot. Knicks fans, if there are any that even watch this channel, you know my pain. We lost Steph Curry to them by 1 pick, and now they get the 2nd pick. Oh, poor Golden State. They three-peated. They won 3 championships, and they got 1 season where they lost to Kevin Durant. Klay Thompson was out with a knee injury, and so was Steph Curry, and that gives them the 2nd-round pick. I mean, the 2nd number pick. The Knicks have been suffering for 2 decades, and we can't get the 2nd pick. 2 decades. We're in the lottery every year, and we can't even get. Oh my gosh. It's you know what? These are Vegas odds.
I realized what Studio A is lacking, and that's like some muscle relaxers or some like, what is it, like anger management pills or something like that.
Bro, you did it to me. Why'd you bring it up, man?
Dude, he said, the number 2 pick. He asked me, he lost it for me. Dwayne Bravo, mad props, man. I mean, honestly, we hope you're watching. So awesome, so unbelievable. I'm mad that you're on this guy's team. I'm mad that I should have known. I pick a team because I like Aquaman. That's not why you pick a team. I should have known. But, mad props. You were killing me when the Tridents were playing against you. But let us know what your thoughts are. 500. We don't know enough about CPL to understand how big of a deal that is, but we still know it's a big deal. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to throw some love to the bat. And we got the ball around here somewhere. But until next time.